I told you I would be back. Look at me. Hey, I'm talking here. I'm talking here. Hello, folks. Steve Rizzo here, and welcome to Hey, I'm Talking Here. As so many of you know, this is a entertaining show about empowerment. It's a show that can take you to a better place personally and professionally. And as some of you know, and I would say maybe even more than some, this show is brought to you by Conversations with Bob. Conversations with Bob is a book that I wrote a while ago. It's ready to go. It's in print. And a lot of people have been asking, and some of you already know, but I'm just going to repeat it again. People say, who's Bob? Well, Bob is the power that is within each and every one of us that can bring out the best in you, regardless of your circumstances. Now, some people call this power the light, the force, their true self, their higher self. Some people call it the universe. Most people call it God. You can call it Superman or Wonder Woman. It doesn't matter. What does matter is that you need to know that this power really does have the answer to all of your questions, and it has solutions to all of your problems. All you have to do is learn how to connect with it and communicate with it. And the book, Conversations with Bob, will show you how. And it is of my belief that when you read this book from cover to cover, you will realize how much power you have over every aspect of your life. I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you the way it is. And that is it for Conversations with Bob. And now it's my pleasure to bring on two very important people to this show. And after the show, they're not important to me at all, but to this show, we have my director and my producer and my tech guy. We got Bruce. Bruce, how you doing?
Good.
Good.
I think I'm doing something with my hair, kind of like
Eric does. Your hair?
Yeah. So
what's that? The porcupine look?
Yeah. Well, I haven't been outside today because it's been snowing all morning, and so I figured if I'm not going out, why do my hair?
Yeah, that's what I said. I say that every single time. There's no reason for me to do my hair.
Yeah.
And but no, it looks good. And we also have Eric, the Bam Man. Eric, come on and say hello to everybody.
Hey, be quiet. I'm watching Steve Rizzo. Be quiet. Oh, happy Friday Eve, gentlemen.
Yes, Friday Eve to you too. Friday Eve too. I love this wine thing that you created. It gives me a good reason to drink while I'm working.
That's what I do. I'm a creator. There's Lori says hi, Steve.
Oh, Lori, how are you?
Oh, how are you? Theodore Vivian Legal is on. Hey, I love Ted. He's such a good dude.
Hey, Ted, what's going on? Folks, please leave your comments. Any comments you want. Ask questions. Go ahead, Eric. You do it.
I'm supposed to say that, Steve.
Sorry, man. Don't yell at me. I'm very sensitive.
Please like, comment, share today. Where are you at? What's the weather like? We want to hear from you. How ugly on a scale of 1 to 10 do you think Steve is? Please comment. We love your comments. Jump in.
Can I talk now?
Yes, go ahead.
That's just a beautiful thing. Thanks, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Now we do have a good show, and we do welcome comments. And I like the title of the show. Don't put your happiness on hold. And I know some of you may be thinking, well, what does that mean? What do you mean? Who's going to put the happiness on hold? Well, it's a perfect segue for the Rizzo memo.
The Rizzo memo.
This just in, hot off the press. Back in my stand-up comedy days, I've known many comics who put their happiness on hold. They had difficulty enjoying the process. Why? Because they believed they wouldn't be happy until they signed with HBO, got their own sitcom or movie deal, or whatever it was that they thought was going to make them happy. And over the years, I've seen close friends morph into bitter, jealous, and resentful people who no longer enjoyed making people laugh. Without ever realizing what they were doing to themselves, they got caught up in their own quest to become a star, which in their minds was the only thing that was going to make them happy. The world of showbiz became their only business. Their total existence revolved around getting discovered, which was, to me, very ironic because they really had no idea on how lost they really were. And it was disheartening to see that they never allowed themselves the time to appreciate other aspects of themselves or life. They would perform from club to club, go from one audition to the next. Their lives were an automatic pilot as they strived for and waited for that big break, that day somewhere in the future where they will finally be happy. My point is, why wait for a future goal to be happy? Why not learn and exercise positive alternatives that will enable you to feel confident during the process of achieving your goal, any goal? Seriously, folks, think about this. It defies all logic. I mean, what good is achieving a goal if you're not enjoying yourself during the process? And that is the Rizzo memo. And that's all I have to say about that. That's all I have to say.
That's a touchdown.
That's
a touchdown.
Can we end the show now?
Yeah, we're done. Just close it up. So
Yeah.
No, there's my mom. My mom's on here.
Hi, Mom.
You know,
If you
we're
don't
not
mind me
supposed
calling
to
you
talk
Mom?
about. We won't talk about it. So I told Steve what we won't talk about. We're not going to talk about it. Ted's working like a dog. There's Kellen and Kellen's wearing bedazzled pants, which is exciting. I love this subject today. You and I talked about it earlier in the week. What I love about it is we get so focused on goals, and I'm guilty of. I carry around a goal card with personal and work goals on it. But as I've gotten older, I don't focus so much on the finish line. I focus on the journey, because the journey is the fulfilling part, right?
Yeah.
And it's the part of being blessed to wake up every day and get a chance to do it again. Ted Legal's on here is a great example of a dude who gets up every day and he's blessed that he got the chance to do it again. And I know the Rizzo memo is a lot of that is probably geared towards your book, Get Your Shift Together, where you talk about Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah.
You want to jump into that a little bit? Because I know that's what it's about, right?
Yeah, I am going to get into that. Absolutely. I have to tell that story. It's the biggest lesson I learned in my life. But I believe, Eric, and I think you'll agree with me, I think the biggest disease in this country, especially in the past 3 years, is unhappiness.
Yep.
And I believe the number one reason for that is that people unconsciously are putting their happiness on hold.
Yeah.
You can hear people say it, and they do it on an unconscious level. They're not aware that they're doing it to themselves. I'll enjoy myself when I achieve the goal. I'll enjoy myself when I get to where I want to go. Right now,
Yep.
there are too many changes taking place, too many things happening in my life. When things calm down and things start going the way I want them to go, and when I get the respect and appreciation that I deserve, and when I make more money, that's when I'm going to enjoy myself. And I'm not going to do it 1 minute sooner. I'll show me a thing or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a little bit of the other side of that a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
I had lunch there with a buddy of mine, and we actually talked about COVID. And I think we'll look back at this 10 or 12 years from now. And for some people, there's that, right? That conversation right there, which nothing great happened. And this was awful. And then there are going to be people it's the reason why we have the great resignation, because people are quitting their crappy jobs that they hated. And they're now going to look for things that I think COVID, we look back, is going to be polarizing both ways. It's going to pull some people into their happiness and make some people more miserable than they've ever been.
Yeah. And you make yourself more miserable when you unconsciously put it on hold. That little banter that I just did,
Yep.
That's what putting your happiness on hold is.
Yep.
And you're not aware that what you're doing. And it's insane.
Yep.
Because what you're saying to yourself is that your happiness is dependent upon something that has to take place at some point in the future. And It can never happen, because happiness will always be steps ahead of you. And I think what people need to get is that your subconscious runs 97% of your life. I mean, 97%. And you're not aware that it does that. And I always say your subconscious is the genie of your soul. Okay. So if you're walking through the course of a week and you're having a challenging time throughout that week at work, and you're saying to yourself, and I bet you a lot of people listening going, whoa, maybe I do that. Well, I'm saying a lot of us do. And you're saying things like, oh, man, I can't believe until the weekend gets here. When the weekend gets here, that's when I'm going to calm down. Man, these people are getting on my nerves. No matter how hard I try, I don't seem to be doing the right thing. I just need time to myself. When the weekend gets here, that's when I'm going to relax.
Right.
And your subconscious, the genie of your soul, is saying, your wish is my command.
Yep.
I can wait for the weekend to come along right now in your life. The weekend will be here, and then you'll enjoy yourself. Okay, we'll see. And a lot of people think, well, when the weekend gets here, then I'll enjoy myself. Not really, because
Nope.
that mindset stays with you. You see, then when the weekend comes, you're probably going to wind up saying to yourself, man, if I can get the kids out of this house, I can finally have some peace and quiet.
Yep.
Why can't I have some time to myself? Why are there always things to do when I'm home? I work my ass off at work, and then on the weekend, I got to do this and that. It's always something with that mindset, and that's what you have to be careful about. That
Well, the person that can't wait for Friday for the weekend is also the person that's miserable on Sunday afternoon because they're already planning on being miserable the next day at work on Monday.
great
It's a
point.
cycle.
Great point. And that's another thing. And they're not aware that they're doing it.
Yeah.
And that's why so many people are walking around miserable. And if you realize that if you made that conscious choice to enjoy yourself during those challenging times at work, or whether you're having challenging times in your personal life, you would go through the problem a lot easier. Solutions to the problems will come to you quicker.
Yeah.
But it's a common sense success strategy, but we make it difficult for us to acquire that type of strategy.
Yeah, I know you're a man that loves a good prop. So I brought one that I didn't tell you about, but I thought about this after our conversation the other day. Do you know what this is?
Is that
Stretch Armstrong? You remember Stretch Armstrong?
Yeah.
Right. So for 50 years, I never got a Stretch Armstrong. Finally, I had a buddy bought me a Stretch Armstrong. But you think about life, right? And life does this to us all the time, right? And you know what most people do? They leave their arms out like this. But do you know what Stretch Armstrong does? He just comes right back, man. He comes back to center and comes back to good. And he doesn't let all that just weigh on him. He just Look at that. Watch this.
Ow.
Watch this. He just bounces right back to center, baby. Even in his little tidy whitey pants there, he just bounces right back. That's life. We've got to learn to bounce back to center and bounce back and go, look, that was yesterday. It's over. Move on to the next day, because that's what Stretch Armstrong does. Look at those abs. By the way, they modeled this after Steve. So that's what.
Actually, I do have pretty good abs. I must say.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure you do. So, but that's kind of life. Like when we get pulled and we get stretched, and my friend Erica got stretched in a lot of different directions last night with some stuff that was going on. But then you get up the next day and you bounce back and new day. Let's get after it.
Yeah, and it's not just a goal, Eric. It's your challenges and problems. You got to wake up every morning being optimistic and positive, but know that there is a good chance you're going to be confronted with a challenge. It's part of life.
Yeah.
But also know there's something within you that can meet that challenge head on. Most people don't think like that. Most people feel victimized.
Yeah.
And here we go again. I can't believe this. Why does everything have to happen to me? And you make a challenging situation worse than what it has to be.
Yeah, that's like the person that says, I never win anything. Well, you won't. Ted, that's why you set many daily goals, large biweekly goals, and once a month large goals. And while accomplishing each take time to enjoy them one step at a time. I love Ted. Ted's one of my boys, and he's exactly right. Man, we just win the day.
Yeah.
If you focus, my friends know I talk about this all the time. Have a big day, because a big day leads to a big week. A big week leads to a big month. A big month leads to a big year.
Yep.
That you just got to focus on just winning the day. I want to hear the Rodney Dangerfield story, because I don't want us to get too long.
You know what? I'm going to get going.
Please.
No, I will. I'm going to. By the way, folks, this story that I'll be telling is the biggest lesson I learned in my life, and it's not what can happen, what will happen to you if you insist on putting your happiness on hold.
Yeah.
In 1986. I was headlining Rodney Dangerfield's comedy club every single weekend in 1986. Now, this is when Rodney was at the pinnacle of his career. He was voted one of the top 3 recognizable faces in the country, the number 1 comedian in the country. He had 2 HBO specials under his belt. He had 2 hit movies in a 2-year span that was rated an 8 to a 10 by the critics. He was on the Tonight Show every other week. You couldn't get any more popular than he was. When I headlined his room from a Wednesday through Sunday, it was sold out every single show, with movie stars, sports figures, you name it, directors, producers, a lot of famous people. And I want you folks to get the background so you can get the gist of the story. On Friday, they had 2 shows sold out. On Saturday, 3 shows sold out. Sunday, 2 shows sold out. It was Saturday night, the last show. And I just finished my set. and it was a great crowd. And as I'm walking off the stage, who's walking through the audience but Rodney? He so often would do that. And the audience went absolute. Eric, you should have seen them. They went ballistic. And they're screaming. And he's doing Rodney. He's going, hey, how you doing, baby? All right. Okay. Can I love you? Yeah. The crowd, I waited in the back of the room. It was so loud that there was a ringing in my ears, man. It was just insane. And some people had tears in their eyes. And they're screaming, Rodney, Rodney. He's so cool. He's on stage. He waits for the audience to die down. They do. He does 10 minutes of new material. 10 minutes of new material. For his next HBO special that's coming up in about another month.
Right.
And he does it, and he thanks them for supporting his club, and he asks them to give me another round of applause, and he goes to walk off the stage, and something happened that I never saw before, nor do I believe I will ever see anything like this ever again. The audience that was up front, they got up from their seats, and they surrounded the stage, okay? And they interlocked their arms, and they wouldn't let him go. And people were screaming, we want more, we want more. And then from we want more, it was, we love you, we love you. Eric, I am not exaggerating. You took his bodyguard and 2 waiters to get him off that stage that night.
Wow.
And I what I couldn't believe is that the noise was even louder than it was when he first came up on stage.
Right. That's cool.
So I remember I'm standing in the back of the room and I'm saying to myself, oh my God, this is what it's like to be a star.
Right.
This guy has got the world in the palm of his hands. And it wasn't too soon after that where I realized sometimes holding the world in the palm of your hands isn't what's important. What's important are the choices you make as you're holding it.
Yeah.
The crowd's gone. The doors are locked. The wait staff is cleaning up. And I go over to the bar, as I so often did when Rodney was there. I went up to him. I gave him a big hug. I gave him a big kiss on the cheek. And I said, hey, man, how does it feel to be a superstar? He downs a triple scotch, puts it down on the bar, pours it, looks at me square in the face and says, well, I'll tell you, Stevie, it sucks. It really sucks. And I was waiting for the punchline.
Right.
And I realized there wasn't one. He went on a verbal rampage of negativity on how the entertainment industry ruined his life, on how he should have made it 30 or 40 years ago when he was younger. He was barely 60 years old then. That's young.
Yeah.
And he just said, I could have enjoyed myself years ago. And I stopped and I took a pause and I said, whoa. And I tried to give him a pep talk.
How old were you? How old were you at this time?
Oh my God. It was 1986. I was 72 days ago. So I don't know how old I was. But I was young.
You were relatively young at the time in your career.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was pretty new. I was only 4 years in stand-up.
Wow.
I was a teacher before that. And I looked at him and I tried to give him a pep talk. I said, Rodney, what are you talking about? Didn't you hear that crowd? They absolutely loved you. You were voted one of the top 3 recognizable faces in the country, the #1 comedian. You're responsible for launching the careers of all these comedians. You have 3 HBO specials now. Mm-hmm. You have 2 hit movies rated an 8 or a 10. You're a household name. What else do you want? Most comedians your age fizzle out, but you're at the top of your game. He downed another triple scotch. He got low key, and he said, I don't expect you to understand, Stevie. All I know, he said, is that I dedicated my entire life for this moment, waited 40 years for this moment to happen. I sacrificed my happiness, my family, my children for this one moment. He goes, and now that I got it, I still can't achieve it. He goes, I'm telling you, it sucks. Wow. And as I'm saying to everyone that's listening right now, and I'm saying to you, it was the biggest lesson I learned in my life, and here's why. And I want everyone to get this. Here's a man that should have been living his dream. Instead, he was living a nightmare, all because years ago, without him realizing what he was doing to himself, he was putting his happiness on hold. He created a mindset, a belief system that literally signified, I will not be happy until I reach a specific goal. I get to a certain status in life. His subconscious, the genie of his soul, said, your wish is my command. It was a self-fulfilling prophecy. And here's the thing, Eric. even though he did achieve it, and probably way more than he ever fathomed, he still couldn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Why? Because, folks, this is what I want you to get. When you're setting out to achieve a goal, any goal, and you are consumed with this negative stuff, jealousy, envy, despair, self-doubt, overwhelm, fear, whatever it is, that crap comes with you.
Yeah.
It comes with you to when you finally achieve the goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
The point is, there's no reason why, I don't care how old you are right now, to make a promise to yourself that no matter what it is that you're trying to achieve, whether you're raising your kids, you're trying to have a family, you're buying a new home, you're cranking it up a couple of notches in your new business, you're taking the dog for a walk, it doesn't matter what it is, it's your right to enjoy yourself.
Yep.
And even when times are tough, you have the ability to shift your focus and the way you're thinking to what's working, to what makes you feel better. And the more you shift over to those moments, the more gratitude you have, and you will be creating a different habit. I'm not saying this is easy, but I am saying it can be done.
Well, that story is one of my favorite from your book, Get Your Shift Together. I'm big on audiobooks. I've told you that. Like, I love listening to that part of the book. It's tremendous. And I think we're just not good as humans of celebrating the daily victories of, I put on Facebook one day last week, I had a really good day. It was my most liked post. I went back and looked. It was literally the most liked post I'd had in 2 weeks. That I said, I had a really good day. And people commented, I did too, me too, me too, me too. It's so powerful to just say, I had a good day. I accomplished some stuff today. And it's just as powerful as the opposite, which today sucked. My life is awful. I have a headache, and you post that, and the same people that say, I had a great day will also jump in and tell you how awful their day was. It's powerful to say I had a good day. Get behind that.
Yeah, I so appreciate what you're saying. And it, like I said, the people that do this with that negative mindset are not aware of it. Yeah. They've created this negative mindset throughout their whole lives, the belief system. Their thought process created the belief. Their beliefs created the way that they feel and their attitude. And before you know it, that's their life. And they'll find something wrong every single time.
What's that old saying? You could give somebody $100 bill and they complain if it was wrinkled.
Exactly.
There are people out there like that. And it is, thoughts are things. I firmly believe that. Thoughts with action behind it create things, and we've got to be better at enjoying the process. And if you have an idea, write it down, talk about it, work for it, tell your friends about it, pray about it, study and learn about it and get better at it, and enjoy that process. One of the things we talked about the other day, I was born in 1970 and I'm going to die probably in 2070. I'm going to be 100 years old. And the thing we forget about is that little dash in the middle, that's the process. That's our life. We've got to learn to enjoy it and celebrate the wins. Back to Rodney Dangerfield, the most amazing thing to me about him and about that story is his whole shtick was, I get no respect.
Yeah.
He literally, he manifested it every day in what his stand-up routine was. And really, when you really think about that, he probably wrote notes about it. He talked about it. He's on stage, and everything he talked about was very negative. And he wonders why at the end of his life,
that's a great point.
He sat with you at a bar down in triple scotches. He manifested that into his whole life.
That was his, that's a great point. That was his mantra. That was his thing. As a matter of fact, if you want to look at it, he didn't respect himself enough.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm talking here and nobody's listening. I'll tell you, I get no respect.
There's a comment here from Taylor Hilbert. Freaking pessimism drives me insane. And I love Taylor and Craig. They're great people. And I agree with that. Like, we have a choice. I mean, are things always unicorns and rainbows and Skittles and farting, glitter and stuff? Of course not.
Hi, Terrace. Love you.
Hi, Terrace. Of course it's not. But we can choose to see what the good that comes from it. So it's a choice. It is literally a choice. So,
absolutely. Hey, Bruce, keep the messages, the comments up until we respond to them. Even if we're talking, just keep them going. Just keep them going.
One of the biggest problems people have is letting go of the daily issues. You have to move forward. When you go home, it can no longer be in your head. I think.
Yeah,
I'm gonna agree with. I think you're right. You got to let it go. Sometimes it is. So I struggle with that.
Yeah, you know how you let it go, Eric. Though this is what I want to get to. You have to become aware. Become aware of what you're doing to yourself.
Sex. It's not
what?
sex. I said sex. It's not sex. Sorry.
Sex? I'll tell you, I get no respect. No,
How do you let it go?
You become aware.
Yeah.
When you're going through the course of a day and you realize, man, my day sucks, and all of a sudden you just go, whoa, what am I doing?
Yep.
I got a meeting to go to. It's my kid's birthday coming up. It's my anniversary, whatever it is. I got to get into I got to let this go. Where did this come from? Where's this coming from? What the hell was I thinking when I woke up in the morning? Because usually it's what happens to you as soon as you wake up to greet the day is formulates your attitude.
Yep.
So you got to backtrack and just say, well, that was causing me to feel this way. Those feelings created this belief that my life sucks, and now I have a bad attitude.
Yeah.
What do you have to do? You got to big day.
So there's my boy Edgar. I've known Edgar forever. Big day, big week. He's heard it a million times. Edgar used to work for me. By the way, congratulations. Edgar is now an American citizen as of last week. So,
congratulations, Edgar.
That's awesome. And Randy threw in a comment. We absolutely have a choice day by day. There's Randy. Randy has another comment down there. There it is. One of my favorite things, Randy talks about two things that I love. Randy will tell you all the time, today is the greatest day until tomorrow, right? Yeah. He says that, and he talks all the time, and this I think is very part of this conversation. Randy talks all the time about his win pile. And Randy's in sales, and Randy doesn't collect sales because those are transactional. Randy collects relationships, and he throws them on the win pile every day, and he collects relationships. And collecting quality, good relationships, kind of like yours and mine, it's more biased towards you, but I'm kidding. But as you collect great friendships, your mindset changes. It's iron sharpens iron. Collect great relationships make you better.
I agree.
Big time.
And you know what? I think this is a perfect segue for the word according to Bob. And before you play it, let me give an introduction for this one. This is enjoy the journey or pay the price. And I want you folks to get this. And the message that you will be seeing here on the word according to Bob is part of the message. It's in the new book coming out, Conversations with Bob. So hit it, Bruce. Let's.
Here's something I want you to consider, and I want you to use your imagination here. Let's say that your goal is to become a vice president of a big company. And after many years of intense stress, worry, and an avalanche of emotional, mental, and physical overload, you finally achieve your goal, along with all of the wealth and prestige that comes with it. Is this success? Now, if you were to consult the dictionary, the answer would be yes. Webster's dictionary defines success as follows: the attainment of wealth, position, honors, or the like. I find it absolutely amazing that the words happy, happiness, joy, or enjoyment are not included in any definition of the word success. Unfortunately, our conventional definition of success is simply achieving a goal. No emphasis at all is placed on the value of experiencing and enjoying the journey, building character, learning life's lessons along the way. Now, here's a hypothetical question. What if someone were to show you a video of yourself as you climb the ladder to great success? Now, in this video, you see yourself achieving all of your goals and obtaining great wealth. But during the entire process, however, you witness how you subjected your body, mind, and spirit to intense negative energy along the way. Not only were you unhappy most of the time, but you were able to see how your refusal to enjoy the process affected your family, your friends, associates, and your overall well-being. Come on, you talk about a downer of a movie. Now I'm going to ask you the question again. Is this success? Here's the answer. No. And here's why. And I really want you to get this. If the process of fulfilling your goal is polluted with negative energy and lack of enjoyment along the way, it can only create more unhappiness even when the goal is achieved. Why? Because the happiness that you feel in that moment of reaching success is a temporary state dictated by its conventional definition. You see, after the initial euphoria wears off, you're back in the same old negative place again, because you've carried that same old negative mindset with you. All of those toxic emotions, the fear, the anger, the self-doubt, overwhelm, jealousy, all that stuff comes with you. The truth is, it really doesn't matter how much money you have, or how famous you are, or how many goals you've achieved. The bottom line is this, and only you know this. If you are not happy, you're not successful. And if you're not enjoying yourself on the journey towards your goal, you're ripping yourself off. And trust me when I say there are enough people out there willing to do that for you. There's absolutely no reason why you can't make a conscious choice right now at this moment, and it doesn't matter how old you are, to experience and enjoy yourself on the journey towards the goal. And if you do, you'll have a profound appreciation of how you earned it. And in my view, that's the ultimate success. And by the way, this isn't coming from a motivational speaker. This is coming from the heart of someone who learned this lesson the hard way. And that's the word, according to Bob.
Touchdown. Touchdown. We've had several more people jump on. Chrissy said you're right. We've got
Chrissy, love you.
Coach Phil jumped on and said, wow. Lynn Serrano's on, said hello. Randy said, enjoy the journey. I'm reading these as they're popping up. I know we're going to wrap up. I think as I've thought about this conversation most of the week that we had earlier in the week, I think my favorite holiday of the year as I gotten older, I realized is Thanksgiving. If we as a society celebrated Thanksgiving every day, we would turn around and instead of being thankful for our car or thankful that I have a Stretch Armstrong, it's about being thankful for the roof over our head and the fact that we have food. And we need to learn to be more thankful and celebrate Thanksgiving every day. And it fixes some of those problems. But some people are so damn stubborn that they won't look around and realize how good they have it.
No, but they'll look around and find out how bad they have it.
No, they will in a second. They'll see that.
Exactly. Yeah,
they'll see that.
That was well said. Well said, Eric. Absolutely. I think that's if we can get a couple more of these, very well done segments. Thank you so much, Ted. Thank you, Tom. 1 point on point. See, Tom Stenford. I went to elementary school with him.
I love that guy.
Yeah, like first, second, third, fourth grade. We're in the same class.
That's when you graduated, right? Fifth grade, or you stopped going? Fifth grade?
No, I made it up to sixth.
Oh, that's cool. Good for you.
How the hell I became a teacher is beyond me. But,
well, hey, Word According to Bob is coming out soon. And
it's the printer, not me, folks. They still can't get, they're having a tough time getting the materials to the printers in the country are up in arms. Some publishers have put a hold on their clients saying we can't accept your book now because they can't get the materials to print the book.
You know what I'm going to do to them?
Eric, man, I love you. You did a great job today.
Rip their arms off, those little turds. Hey, so if you can go to Facebook, Steve Rizzo, check out his author page, give him a shout. And you know what? I guess we'll see you in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
You're going to have me back in 2 weeks? I mean,
I wouldn't do this without you. That's what I'm saying.
There we go.
Oh, and sign up for my bi-weekly Rizzogram.
Yeah.
You get an article, a video. It's really cool stuff. It's all a message on how to get you to a better place in your life. And it's free for now.
I before we go, I know we're gonna wrap this up. This is powerful from Ted. It's really important to recognize the people who help you get your goals accomplished because there is no I in team. And I love that. And Ted is spot on. There is no I in team, but there is one I in Eric, literally, and I have a fake eye. So literally I have one eye. So I win.
Do you really?
Yeah, I have a fake eye, right? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
That's pretty cool.
Sharing is caring, Steve.
It's a self-image. Yeah, right. Not stubborn. It's how the see and the feel about how they see and feel about
yeah,
it. Right,
it's what you think about. I think I'm good looking, and the reality is, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm like a 3.5, and that's probably generous. So
I think you are too. Hey, what the hell?
No, hey!
I'm just saying.
No respect here.
Well, I'll tell you, I get no respect at all.
I'll leave those up to you. I'm not very good at that. So.
All right, man. Yeah, you're not. So don't. Okay, don't. Yeah, if you can't.
All right, no, we're gonna wrap this up. Steve, do you know what I love about you?
What?
Everything.
Love you too, man.
See y'all.
Thank you, folks. Please share. Tell your friends about the show. It's all about making people feel better, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I love you all. Thank you. Take care. Bye.